חיזוק from the Pārsha Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Va'era. In this week's Parsha, we see the Makir Tzfadaya, the second Makir. The Tzfadim had the gewaltige Mesiras Nefesh. They jumped into the ovens all over in Paro's house, even where it was hot, and even they got burned and that eventually died. We don't find that the Torah awarded them anything for their Mesiras Nefesh. The following Parsha, next week, we see that at Makis B'choros, that the dogs were not barking and Chol B'nai Yisrael Le'echatz Kelev L'Shoinoi. Then we see a scha ad hayom hazeh l'kelev tashlich nois. So whenever we have a nevaila, non-kosher meat, we cannot have a nuah from. So you have to give it to the dogs. Chazal tell us why, because they were quiet at the Makis B'nai Yisrael Mitzrayim. They weren't barking, and that's why they get awarded thousands of years later. Tzfadim had the gewaltige Mesiras Nefesh as well. Why did they not get awarded just as their dogs? But Balamisa tell us a tremendous nekuda that we see over here. We see from here that to control yourself, to be quiet and not bark, is much greater Mesiras Nefesh than jumping into fire. Everybody can say, I'll have Mesiras Nefesh, I'll jump in fire, they'll write about me in generations to come. Yes, it's special, I'm not going to say not. But it doesn't come close to when you have something like really a good answer, a gidel stoch to answer somebody and you don't answer. That's much greater than schar. For that, you get schar for many, many doors to come. The Shluah Kodesh tells us, it says it about ladies, about wives, that when a wife is controlling herself not to answer when a husband is embarrassing her or yells at her, she's mevatel thousands of gezeires from her kids, from her grandkids, from her great-grandkids, from many, many generations to come. I wish women have the same schis. It's a gewaltige schis, just to be quiet. Another beautiful point that we find at Makis Tzfadaya. Makis Tzfadaya, the Torah tells us, Vatala Tzfadaya. There's a single Tzfadaya, Rashi says, one Tzfadaya. What happened? The Mitzrim came, they saw a big frog, and they started hitting it. What happened? Multiplied, came more frogs. What happened? They started hitting it stronger. They wanted to kill it. What happened? More frogs came out. What did they do? They started even throwing rocks and kicking it and trying to kill it. And what happened? He says this is exactly when you cannot control yourself. You bring out anger. That's what the Balamisa tells us. That's what happens. So many times there's a small chaos. And what do? You scream. What happens? Makes the situation even worse. You got to learn from Makis Tzfadaya that this is what happens when you throw more wood to the fire. Sometimes by trying to contain it the wrong way, it makes the fire even greater and much bigger. And just to conclude, we see by Slichas. What do we say the first day Slichas? Hashem chepusam v'lo meshivim v'onim. Though Hashem should have rachmunus of us, should have mercy on us, b'schus those who control themselves and they do not answer when they get embarrassed. After Shmones, so many bakushas. What do we say? Let us be quiet. And I conclude with a beautiful story from when Gadol Eisner was one of the Gdolim in Poland. When Gadol was left after the war, he had only one daughter before the war, and she was never killed in Auschwitz. He was left completely alone. He lost his wife and his only one daughter. He had a memory from her. He had a siddur that she herself wrote a name, and she wrote like a little note in the siddur. Every single day, Reb Gadol took the siddur and davened in that siddur. For many years, it became old. He had to go rebind it, and he gave it to a binder. And the binder didn't know. He just ripped out the first page and he threw it out. When Reb Gadol's gabbai came to pick up the siddur, and he came home, they realized that they took out the paper, and they ripped it. They took it out. The gabbai said, "Wow, let me run quickly back to this binder. Let me see if I can find the paper." Reb Gadol didn't let him. He says, "Can you imagine? If he threw it out and it's already in Sheamus, or he just shredded it somewhere, if he would find out that he caused me such a misnefesh, you know what a misnefesh it would cost him? I would control himself, I would lose my only memory for my one only daughter, but not give a yid aggravation. To control himself, this is the message from this week's Parsha. So have a wonderful Shabbos and a gittin chodesh."